Welcome to Simple and Savored. We are still in soup season, and this is so simple, so fast, but so good. And we're cooking out of Robin Takes 5 ingredients, 500 recipes, 500 calories or less, 5 nights a week. There's over like a year's worth of meals in here. But we're really focusing on soups. We love soups. It's still cold and rainy in the Northwest, so Italian sausage and rice stew, something thick and rich and yummy. So let's take a look at ingredients. I'm going to get the pan going here. So we have about a half a pound of Italian sausage, and typically we're cooking for 2. A can of tomatoes. This is a bigger can than in the recipe, but I'm just going to kind of play with it. I'll put probably half in and try it out. Quart of chicken stock. You can use the vegetable stock that I've done a show on as well. Rice from the night before. You could also take a half a cup of rice and throw it in this and just let it cook in the stew. So either way is easy. Parsley for a finish, salt and pepper to taste. I'm going to bald guy this up with a little fennel seed, which is that anise flavor that's in Italian sausage. I like that flavor, we both do, and then some hot pepper flakes. We're just going to brown the sausage, and let's take a look at the timer. Start the timer. I'm thinking about 15 minutes this should be ready to roll. So I'm just going to break it up into pieces. This was, usually if you buy Italian sausage, it comes in a package of a pound or 5 Italian sausages that are actually in a sausage that you could throw on a grill. And this was half of that package, so 2.5 sausages. Just took it out of the casing. I'm just going to let this brown up. I'm going to turn it down a little bit so it doesn't burn. So this should take about 5 minutes. So while that's going, let's essentially do the rest of the meal here. So, new can opener. Not really good at it yet, but dang it. Here we go. Learning a new tool, just like if you're not used to using a knife, you gotta practice a little bit. Tanya's laughing at me though. Use the little grabber, and this was what we had in the fridge or in the pantry. So it's whole tomatoes, best to get crushed tomatoes. I'm going to do a little bald guy crushing with the potato masher there. And if you can on this sausage, get it in small enough pieces and just let it brown, but you got to watch it because it can go quick. So easier way is to turn it down and take a little longer, but we're going to do this the quick way. Really the only other thing is cutting parsley. So let's do that next. And this was all rinsed and washed before. So I'm just going to do first time through just a rough chop. Kind of both directions. Bring it together. And I don't want it really fine. I love biting into a nice big leaf of parsley. Where are we at on time? About 3 minutes so far. And pretty much our meal is prepped. Okay, so that's all cooked. We're going to bring it up to temperature anyway. So I'm going to add half a can of tomatoes. It calls for a 15-ounce can. So then I'm just going to, woo! Got a party in the house here. Oh, that wasn't hot. That could have maybe hurt. Like I said, just getting crushed tomatoes is the way to go. You don't have to do any of this, but had it in the pantry and we just want to use what's in the pantry. Okay, so let's wipe down the bald guy's arm here and a little of the face and the other part of the arm that I missed there. And just in the bald guy up, I'm just going to probably put maybe a teaspoon of fennel in there. You don't have to. And then this is going to be nice little bump of hot, maybe a little on the spicy side, but we kind of like it a little on the spicy side. Crank up the temperature to high as we're bringing everything to heat. I'm just going to give it a little salt and pepper to start with. And like I'd said before, if you didn't have cooked rice already, this would just be a good meal if you've know you're eating rice one night, just plan this one the following night and make enough rice to add to the stew. That's just a good way to use the ingredients that you've already cooked and just to speed things up a little bit. So I'm going to add the rice, and so this is maybe a couple cups, cup and a half, something like that. The more rice you add, the thicker this stew or the soup will get. So if you had too much, you may have to add a little more liquid, either stock or more tomatoes or a little water and a little seasoning to kind of beef that up. Let's do a quick taste. Ooh, there's some heat in there. Good. I'm gonna add just a tish more salt. Oh my gosh, that fennel. I got a big old bite of fennel in there. This is gonna be yummy. And I'm gonna put half of the parsley in it, and we'll use the rest for garnish. So this adds another layer of flavor, just having the kind of the green that's cooked. And it'll just be simmering for a minute or so. And then we'll add the fresh parsley on top for a little burst of spring. So even, you know, if you think about it, 10 minutes for a meal, nice hearty stew, nice hearty soup. You could put all this, brown the Italian sausage, put it in a crock pot and just regular rice with all the stock and turn that on, and it'd be really yummy coming home and smell really good. But, you know, as always, it's just what's simple, what's easy, what's healthy, what's good to put in your body. And would love to hear in comments, you know, I just hear so many people so often, you know, at work, just friends and family and conversation. It's like, I just don't have time. I don't have the stuff at home. I don't know what to cook. I don't know how to cook. And, you know, just following the simple concepts, it's, you know, 5 or 6 ingredients typically. A lot of times what you'll have in the freezer, just make sure you always have it in the fridge. You don't buy big amounts of it. So I hear so many people like, I bought everything for this really wonderful recipe I saw on the Food Network. And we ate it. It didn't taste really that good because there are like 40 things in it. And then everything just rotted in the fridge because I didn't know what to do with the leftovers of it. So let's avoid that and keep some money in your pocket, put good food in your body. And so share some ideas if you have things that you know, challenge for you. And that may be something we can shoot on the show. And I'll give you a shout out for, you know, giving me the idea. Soup is on simmer. Ladle time. And since we're doing this quick, if you let this sit for a little bit, the rice will absorb more of the liquid and become more stewish, if stewish is a word, stew-like. Ooh, that's hot. Feel that steam. I'm getting a little facial here. Oh, it's so good. So let's give it a shout. It's hot. That is so good. The half a can, just about 15 ounces of tomatoes is perfect. If you did do the whole can, it'd be a little more on the tomatoey side versus the kind of the chicken broth and rice and Italian sausage side. Oh God, that's good. So, if you are new to this channel, that took 11 minutes. What, you know, if meals normally take 30 minutes, what would you do with an extra 20 minutes? Sit and read a book that you have had sitting by your table for forever. It's like, I'm gonna read that book. Hang out with your kids, give somebody a call that you haven't talked to. You know, it's simple, easy, healthy recipes for your busy life is what Simple and Savored is all about. So more time for you and ultimately the ones you love and the things you love to do. So if you have not subscribed, do subscribe. I want to see you in the next video, and love to hear comments. If you have friends that have been kind of talking about this, share this with them specifically and let them know, here's a resource. Here's some tools and tips and ideas of just have a better life, I think is ultimately the goal. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you in the next video. New can opener. Not really good at it yet, but dang it. Here we go. Woo! Got a party in the house here. Oh, that wasn't hot. That could have maybe hurt. Okay, so let's wipe down the bald guy's arm here and a little of the face and the other part of the arm that I missed there.